Welcome back to Earth Motor Channel. My name is Jason, and real quick, before we dive into this Hellcat sitting behind me, be sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on that notification bell so that way every single time we have one of these vehicles ready for you, you're in the know. If you're even into cars even just a little bit by now, chances are you have heard of the Hellcat. In the 1960s, the Ford Motor Company absolutely shook up the automotive world with the creation of the Pony class, that lighter, more nimble, more sport-focused vehicle known as the Mustang. All the other manufacturers quickly scrambled to try and come up with some competitive vehicles. Chrysler immediately responded with the Plymouth Barracuda. However, in addition to the Ford Mustang, Ford also produced a more luxury model called the Mercury Cougar. Chrysler wanted a piece of that market as well. That's how we came up with the Challenger. Now in the 60s, the Challenger was originally designed by Carl Cameron, the same guy that designed the Charger. Now what we have behind us here is actually quite a good resemblance of the original Challenger. The apple hasn't fallen too far from the tree as far as the aesthetics go, the way that it looks. However, performance-wise, this thing is an absolutely different animal. The SRT Hellcat makes 707 horsepower. That's due in part to a 6.2 liter V8 with a supercharger on it. Now you'll notice this car comes with two different keys, a black key and a red key. The black key actually reduces the performance of this vehicle down to 500 horsepower. Yes, I said down to 500 horsepower. As to where the red key, that'll give you the full ponies. Now, of course, this is a extremely performance-focused vehicle. You have all the power, you have excellent traction, lots of meat in the rear, gigantic Brembo brakes all the way around. However, you're not lacking for all of your creature comforts. You have your Apple CarPlay, you have a Harman Kardon sound system, it sounds nuts. Leather bucket seats, and the ride's actually pretty comfortable. Let's take a look and see what 707 horsepower looks like underneath the hood. And oh my word, that's a lot of motor. Again, 6.2 liter V8. This is a massive supercharger sitting on the top right here. What this does is forces more air into the motor, meaning you can get more fuel into the motor, which means more horsepower. That's how we get up to 700 horsepower. Along the side here, massive 20-inch wheels. These are wrapped in some Pirelli tires. Check out the size of these Brembo brakes. If you're gonna have all that power, you wanna make sure that you can stop as well. Now, around back here is where you find out where this thing got its name, the Hellcat. We're gonna light this bad boy up here in just a second, and you're gonna hear the absolute ridiculous noises that come out of this thing. All right, let's take a look at the interior here. Black leather seats, white stitching. I think that actually really pops on here. Big dash with a gigantic screen on here. Again, this screen does have your backup camera, your Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, so you're certainly not missing any of your creature comforts. And again, this Harman Kardon sound system is one of the best sounding radios you can have in a car right now. So of course, this vehicle is quite nice to look at. However, I know what you're interested in. Let's see how this thing sounds, and let's see how it goes down the road. That noise. Oh man, I am setting off every alarm we have in the showroom floor right now with this thing. So first thoughts on the interior here, I think Dodge has done a fantastic job with the trim out on the inside. You know, typically speaking, whenever you look at these American-made vehicles, you can kind of smack around and touch things and you feel very plasticky, very cheap. This is not the case with this Hellcat. You know, and you would expect it with that price tag. You expect it to be nice, and it is. So I did bring the red key with me today, so we have the full 707 horsepower. We're not gonna open it all the way up. However, you can't drive a Hellcat without opening it up a little bit, right? So I'm gonna pop it into manual mode here. Again, we have an 8-speed automatic transmission. I wanna see how responsive this is on the flappy paddles. Shifts very quick, very smooth. I gotta hand it to you, Dodge. You did a great job. In a previous job I had, I did a whole lot of travel. I did about 183 flights in 2019. With that came a lot of rental cars, and a lot of my rental cars were from the Chrysler family, and I wasn't really all too impressed. I mean, I had a couple like the Ram Rebel. I really enjoyed that. But for the most part, I had, you know, some of their lower level stuff. But this is unlike anything else I've seen Dodge make. I don't really know if the microphone's gonna pick it up very well, but you do have that wonderful whine from the supercharger. You can kind of hear the pulley going. So to date, this has to be the loudest vehicle we have had on the channel so far. So I'd be doing a complete disservice if I didn't bring us over to the tunnel and open it up a little bit to see what we got. All right, so here we go with what is going to be possibly the loudest vehicle we do in this tunnel, 2018 Hellcat. Oh, let's get some revs. Man, I really hope that picks up on the microphone. That is no contest. No contest. That is the loudest vehicle we have ever had on this show. And probably the loudest vehicle that's ever gone through that tunnel. I gotta say, I am absolutely impressed with how well this puts this power down. You'd think 700 horsepower on a street tire, specifically a Pirelli that rides quite quiet. It manages to put this power down quite well. It doesn't feel like it's trying to kill me. I was expecting to be terrified, but this is controlled chaos. Absolutely controlled chaos. Let's hear it again. Again, absolutely no contest. This is the loudest thing I've ever driven. And it's loud in a good way too.